I was saying that
Go ahead.
at the end of each month, they return a symbolic benefit of most of $2 that we put together and then add members of the rotating micro lens together. The women's autonomization is the target. There are many women wishing to be part of the rotating activity, but the available amount still cannot fit. And the 25 or $30 given to each member would be better increased up to even $50 or $100 so that they can be relatively be able to cover some of the family primary needs and progressively cover the children's schooling. That is a short introduction. Let's now go to the main of our activity. But that's in short the activity we are doing with women. But our specialty is what I spoke last time about ECOMOG, which originally means Economic Community of West African States Monitoring Group. It was a West African multilateral army force established by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. It was a formal arrangement of separate armies, foreign forces to work together and intervene in Liberia. In the South and North Kivu language, the term is used in sports, football and basketball, and means the use of foreign players in local teams. The foreign players are recruited because they are very good and must play better to help the local team wins. In the social field, street situation, ECOMOGs are mainly young girls with the age brackets between 12 and 16, who are generally jobless and illiterate. They haven't attended school due to their familiars' difficult socio-economic situations. Their illiteracy and joblessness is due not only to the poverty, but also early orphanage, decades of war, early motherhood due to lateral dependency or armed groups, raped, internal displacement, sexually transmitted infection, and other sicknesses. These jobless girls are recruited in bars and nightclubs as waitresses, but indeed they are sexually abused. They live, they eat and sleep in the bar nightclubs and are not allowed to leave the place. Their very first role is to seduce every customer who owns in order to have sex. The girls are then paid according to the number of received customer who owns in order to have sex. The girls are then paid accordingly to the number of received customers. However, this unhuman and temporal job lasts at most 6 months because the clients are fed up and need a new series of young girls for their sex need satisfactions. The bar owner is then obliged either to move to another bar or then settle in quarters where they not only sell the local beer, but also sell their bodies to any passerby. Pardon.
Yeah.
This is a very
It's
sensitive
a Zoom
social
call.
problem that ACID is struggling to fight against. So the second, as I suggested at the beginning, is what we call avec Villagers Saving and Allowance Association. That's the second activity we are doing with women in ACID association. For that part, that's what I would like to speak about. For the second point, I would like to, if you can ask questions at the end when I will finish to speak. The second one is about the structure is.
Side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
3 congregations. First of all,
We can't help you landscape your backyard.
The resurrection of Bukavu and Dorothean sisters, and the last of Mary, Queen of Apostles from Bukavu. So we have 3 activities together: wash, diarrhea, the warrior, malnutrition, paludism, and COVID, and what you call Ebola, and so forth and so on. So these 3 congregations are working together in order to see how to have a solution to those diseases, what I mentioned above. And each structure has her own organization, but at the end we put all the activities together in order to see what we can do together. And we are working with what we call in French relais communautaire, community relayers. If I don't know if I can do such translation, but we are working with villagers who are based in the village, who can attend people where we cannot go itself, and they are there to do the sensibilization to people about diarrhea, malnutrition, paludism, COVID, and so forth and so on. And we are working with mothers, and children all together, to see how to can solve the matter. Is what we call in your these community agents, if I can say like that, they go in the village to sensibilize people, and then they come to us in the village, and together we can see how to solve the matter. And we are doing what we call in activity, what we call clinic mobile. That's what we are doing with maybe my French fluence. Maybe in my English can be some fluencies from French. I beg for that, but by writing maybe I can explain better than speaking. But I think you are hearing what I am saying. I'm trying to do what I can in my small English.
C'est bon. Nous parlons un peu de français, mais vous expliquez très, très bon. Merci beaucoup. Your English is working.
Good. So maybe you will say it at the end, but in our wishes, we would like to work with you with as acid in microloans with acid, and with the structures of sisters. If you have said that you want to work with the daughter of resurrection of Bukavu, I would like to develop WASH, diarrhea, malnutrition, paludism, and other disease about this kind of sicknesses. But our wish could be to work with the three congregations in order to have the impact in general, which will cover a number of communities. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. We should introduce ourselves very briefly. And I invited my neighbor, Tom Fox, to join us. And I don't know that he is totally understands what we're trying to do, but Sister Rose is a member, and Sister Rose is Pro Book 4340S, is a member of Daughters of the Resurrection congregation, and as she said, she works with two other congregations, which I didn't get the names of. Maybe Sister Lorraine did. And they're working in the area of Bukavu. I think that's how it's pronounced. DRC, with villagers. Helene, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Helene Dudley. I was one of the founders of the TCP Global Microloan Program, and I'm the executive director. And what we do is we look for organizations that are working very effectively in a marginalized community. And what Sister Rose describes sounds like her group would be an excellent partner. And then they're already working in the community. They know the community. They know who's serious about being able to improve themselves with a microloan. And we build for them. We start off with $1,500. And then if they manage that well, invest it twice, the people repay, then we keep building up that loan pool until it reaches the size that is best for that community. Most of our partners in Uganda and Zambia say that what that is the equivalent of like 2 loans a year of $300. And so once they have that amount of money, then we move on and support other places. Because we were so very successful last year and we opened 75 sites, we have to kind of put the brakes on. So we've done that by limiting time-wise how much we will send people. And also we say that new partners need to come in with someone to support that first 1,500. Then we mentor them and help them grow. And we're typically committed then to finding an additional 7,500 for those sites. But hopefully through the congregation or maybe through the Peace Corps network, we could find someone to help Sister Rose get started. Yes.
Can I
Lorraine,
just interject here and say, I've got a staff member on remote who's fluent in French. If I can share, if you would like me to bring him in, if you think that would be helpful.
c'est bon. Merci.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe what he could do is just translate in the background for Sister Rose to understand what we're saying and translate. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, unless she would have another phone available.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it says I can invite.
Okay, so our system is based on trust. We find partners who are recommended by someone we trust, and then they find borrowers to lend to that they trust. And that avoids a lot of administrative overhead costs that would be involved in trying to, screen everybody up front. And so far, it's saved us a lot of money by finding good partners and trusting them. It's worked well. And we've been very successful, well, all over, but especially in the Yumbe district of Uganda, where Chris and I recently visited, and we heard from countless women how now they're not selling on mats in the street. They have more things to sell. They're able to keep their kids in school, which they couldn't do before. Kids used to go to bed hungry. Now they get 3 meals a day. So they were very enthused about the results of these small loans. And they also said, just like Sister Rose did, that those small loans of $25 to $30, while they helped, they didn't make any significant difference. She said they needed loans of 50 to 100, but I suspect that they would like to go up to that higher level also, because it makes, the people that we met in Uganda are now buying lots to build houses, and some of them had kids in university. There's a lot of talent and ambition out there. We just need to provide them the economic tools so that they can realize their ambitions. And now I'll turn it over to the next person.
Sister Lorraine, would you share about Water with Blessings and anything else you want to?
Sure. And I'm fascinated by the microloan conversation, because I've often thought that's what I would have gotten involved with if it wasn't for water. And we have done a lot of collaboration between our program and some microloan programs, including actually the first team in Honduras where we started. We had some extra funding left over, started them with $50. This was a parish kind of thing, a parish twin kind of thing. And then brought in Mary's Pence. And that, she's right, bringing in that extra cash really, really makes a huge difference.
You email Jerry the link?
I just did.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
So Jerry's trying to get on. Jerry is our Haitian country coordinator. He's here in Louisville. He is Haitian, and he speaks fluent French, although of the Haitian variety, but he's asking me what is DRC. Okay. Just trying to get himself orientated. So Water with Blessings, we've been working since 2008 to put these very powerful, very long life filters into the hands of mothers and make sure that they are really well trained and that they are committed to a paying it forward kind of thing of filtering for 3 other families. So we take what's a pretty expensive product and multiply, the multiplier is the role of water women. And each water woman makes a faith-based promise, any faith, we are not picky about the faith, to filter for 3 other families besides her own. And to date, we have about a little over 145,000 of those women out across the world. The vast majority in Haiti and Honduras, a growing number in Zambia, Kenya, and Uganda. Bolivia is a big place for us. Several places across Latin America, South America. It's been introduced one way or another in about 48 countries, which seems incredible, but you have pre-COVID, a lot of different groups going out for once a year trips somewhere, that kind of thing. So a lot of our partners are microloan collaborators as well, in microloan teams or whatnot. And they, that's a good group of people to work with. But we do it on a community-wide basis. And it's just highly, highly effective. It's a filter that only takes out biocontaminants. But when you understand the issues around water, while we're all concerned about chemical contaminants or non-biocontaminants, me very much so, the thing that kills children overnight is E. coli. The vast majority of deaths are by E. coli or cholera, typhoid, all biocontaminants that the filter takes out very easily. So we also verified the distribution and the whole training thing, and do follow up with GIS technology, which is Geographic Information Systems. And that allows us to both track where everything's going and verify that, which when we got to a pretty good volume, which Jerry is the leader of our our Haiti effort. Then we started using GIS because, Jerry alone is leading an effort that trains 1,350 women every month in Haiti. So when we got to big scale, we really had to get serious about how we were going to manage everything. So there's Jerry, and I'm wondering if we could let Jerry just do a real brief synopsis in French for Sister Rose. He knows Water with Blessings probably better than I do.
Oh no.
So Jerry is our Haitian country coordinator, and Jerry, where it says pro book, that is Sister Rose, who is in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And maybe you could just give her a quick synopsis. Is that okay, everyone?
C'est bon.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
J'ai toujours eu l'intention et l'envie de venir en Afrique. Et jusqu'à présent, je n'ai pas pu arriver là-bas. Bien sûr, l'Afrique, c'est le continent où la plupart des Haïtiens, dont ma grand-grand-grand-mère était la fille d'un esclave de l'Afrique. Donc, vous êtes dans mon cœur. Je suis avec vous. Water with Blessing is a program, even myself in the past, I have
Français.
Water with Blessing. Le programme de Water with Blessing est un programme, merci sister, est un programme qui m'a beaucoup attiré parce que j'ai fait partie de plusieurs organisations et dans Haïti. Et le programme, c'est que le programme ne donne pas de charité. Le programme plutôt aide les gens à s'aider soi-même. Charité, pour moi, cela rend les gens beaucoup plus dépendants. Ils dépendent à vous. Ils ne peuvent pas, et ça aussi prend un peu de personnalité de la personne. La personne devient plutôt indépendant. Il faut aider ceux qui veulent plus les aider à se monter et non à les diminuer, à les dégrader. The Water with Blessing program is to support mothers and men need children virtue of water à cause de l'eau. Le Water Blessing a été fondé pour aider surtout les mères et les enfants, parce que l'effet de l'eau aux enfants, c'est très, très délicat pour les enfants. Et à partir de la grossesse, l'eau qui a des bactéries peuvent affecter l'enfant pendant des années après la grossesse. Et après la grossesse, jusqu'à l'âge de 5-6 ans, ça peut affecter aussi, comment on dit ça, la mémoire des enfants. Et donc, aussi, dans les villes et dans les endroits déprivés du monde, il y a beaucoup de cas de diarrhée. Pour Water Blessing, mon expérience avec Water Blessing, c'est après 2 ou 3 semaines dans la région où on fait les formations et donne les filtres, la diarrhée presque disparaît. Et ça, pour moi, c'est une chose très, très positive parce que en éliminant la diarrhée, les gens peuvent eux-mêmes, la famille peut utiliser l'argent qu'ils utilisent au point de vue de médicaments pour traiter les enfants pour d'autres besoins, et ils en ont beaucoup. Et also, ça aide aussi le système sanitaire et le système de santé en général, parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'argent qui va pour traiter les enfants avec la diarrhée. Et en éliminant la diarrhée, donc, ça, je peux dire, dégage l'utilisation un peu plus d'argent à utiliser à d'autres effets. Another part is Water Blessing, et on donne pas seulement les bouquets et les filtres aux gens, ils sont aussi préparés avec 3 heures de formation. Ces 3 heures de formation, ça commence par l'hygiène, bien sûr, et on donne la formation et comment utiliser, protéger et préserver le système. Le système peut facilement durer 10 ans, facilement, si on prend bien soin du système. On a des systèmes en DRC qui ont plus de 10 ans en utilisation. Donc, ça, c'est beaucoup. Et un système peut supporter 4 familles. Par exemple, pour Haïti, on dit 4 familles et chaque famille, et c'est très préservatif en disant ça, ont 4 membres. En Haïti, ça varie de 4 à 6 membres par famille. Ce qui veut dire un système peut supporter à peu près 24 personnes. Je pourrais aller davantage. Et concernant la qualité du filtre et naturellement le résultat qu'on obtient de l'eau, je peux vous dire que l'eau est très, très potable. Ce qu'ils disent concernant la qualité, c'est vrai. Je vais vous donner un exemple. J'ai entre 18 et 24 trainers et des formateurs en Haïti. On les appelle les formateurs, non pas quelqu'un qui donne, qui fait une distribution, mais plutôt former les gens. Et je suis en charge depuis 3 ans de groupe. Bien sûr, j'ai beaucoup plus de temps avec Water Blessing, mais depuis 3 ans. Et on a donné plus de 32 000 filtres. Et à chaque formation de groupe de 15, le formateur, celui qui fait les formations pour les 15 Water Women, il est le premier à tester l'eau, ou bien à boire, je pourrais dire, l'eau qu'il a filtrée. Et je n'ai jamais eu de formateur tombé malade à cause de l'eau qu'ils ont filtrée. Bien sûr, parler de Water Blessing, cela pourrait être très, très long, mais je vous laisse et vous pouvez me poser des questions. Sister? Il me semble qu'on a quelqu'un qui... OK.
Merci beaucoup.
So let me just say that I have another meeting at 10.
Okay.
from what I saw, I think Jerry obviously always does a great job. And Jerry, this would be a little surprise moment for you, but if we were to be able to set up a program with Sister Rose, I think Jerry and I could work together to get her trained and get the program going, to be sure she understands all the aspects of it. We have all the training materials in French and Swahili as well. I'm not sure which